Hi everyone, this is Robin, the Sudoku guy, with session number 7, and it's my privilege this time to do a puzzle with you that is a little bit more challenging. And but if we should be able to do it, but there's lots of little techniques and clues that I'd like to give you as we go along our way. Let's assume that you look at this and you don't see something that's outstanding, that hits you in the eye, and we'll start off with the normal procedure, starting with the ones up on top on the horizontal blocks. There's nothing. 2, there's nothing. 3, there's nothing. 4, well, no, nothing. But not till we get to 5 that we see something here. We have a 5 in the middle, a 5 in the top. So let's look at this here. We can put a 5 there and a 5 there. 6s, there's no 6s. 7s, 7's too many cells. 8s, we have 2 8s, we have a bottom and a top, so there an 8 could go there or there, but I can't put one there because there's an 8 down in here. 9s, well, we have a bottom here and a top, so in that case we could put a 9 here and a 9 there. That's it. Now let's do the middle set of blocks in here, horizontal. 1s, oh, it can go many places, leave it. 2s, 2s have got a bottom and a middle. We can put a 2 here and a 2 there. 3s, we have 2 3s, a top and a middle. Over here we could have a 3 in the bottom, but there's a 3 down here, so that cancels that cell, so this is where the 3 goes. Now let's look at the ramifications. We have a center, a left. Here it's going to be on the right, so we can eliminate that 8. And it becomes a 3. Now because 8 could only fit in 2 cells up in here in this block, we can now put that as a big 8. So here we go. Now let's look at the ramifications of this 3 here. Top, bottom, middle. We've got a 3 here, so the 3 has to be over there. So we'll put a 3 over there. What's the ramification of that? We have a right, we have a left. It has to be in the middle, in the center down in here. It can be in those 2 cells, but we come across here, there's a 3, so it has to be there. What's the ramification of that? We now have a bottom, we now have a middle, but in the middle block we need a top. It can be there or there, but it cannot be there because there's a 3 there, so it has to go there. Wow. Now let's go, can we go any further than that? We've got, you know what, I think we have got all the 3s. We've gone right around the whole puzzle and got all the 3s. Just because we noticed that a top and middle in there. Now we'll go to 4s. I can see here, we could use the cross, but it still leaves us with too many cells. Let's go to 5. 5, we got middle, bottom, 2 5s over here, but 2 little ones. So we'll put the 2 little 5s in there. Okay, now let's go to 6. There's only one 6, but in this block here, this 6 eliminates 6 as being in here, and there's only 2 cells left. Because there's only 2 cells, I'm going to put a little 6 in there and there. We'll see what happens down the road. 7s. Well, now this is interesting. We can use the cross technique here. If I take this 7 and go up, and that 7 and go across, the only cell left in this block by doing that is there. And again, if you have trouble seeing that, some people visually have trouble with that, you're welcome to get a piece of paper and put it across, or a pencil and put them across, and see what happens that way. Now because we had that 7, what are the ramifications? Well, we have to go up and across. Let's go up first. Center, left, right. We could have a little 7 there and a little 7 there. Let's go now across. We have a top, a middle. This becomes a 7. Any ramifications of that? Yes, there is. We have a center, a left. Here we can have one there or there. So we can put 2 little 7s over here. See what we did just because we saw the opportunity to use the cross technique. Now when I did that, I noticed that this particular row has only got 2 left. And if I look at this carefully, let me think now. There's a 6, 9 left in here. Check me out. And some people say, oh, you're going too fast, Robin. I can't keep up. Well, if that's the case, my suggestion is stop the tape, go back and we'll look at it again. Or stop the tape and work it out yourself to see how I got that answer. In this case, there's 2 cells left. It's a 6 and a 9. Because it's a 6 and a 9, and because we have a 9 up there, this becomes the 6. And this becomes the 9. Therefore, this can be erased, and we're left with a full row completed. Now, what's the ramification of this 9 that we just put in? And is there any ramification for the 6? Let's do the 9 first, because I can see something here. That 9 eliminates this 9. Therefore, this 9 becomes a real 9. So we can put that in. And now we have a left, we have a center, and down in this block we have a 9, 9 that can go there, so we can put it in. I'm looking right and I'm looking left, and I don't see any other 9, so it's going to be little 9s. Now what about the 6? Any ramifications of that 6? Yes, I could say now that we have a center, we have a middle, we have a top, and over here we could have 2 little 6s. So let's put those in. We know that that's the only 2 places in this block a 6 can go. And that's going to help us down the road. We've now gone up to, no, we were up to what number here? Doing the center here. We did 4s, we did the 5s, we did the 6s, we did the 7s. Now it's turn for the 8s. Well, we can have an 8. Wow, we could have an, oh, this is something I've just noticed, and we probably missed this out before. Actually, I knew it, but I forgot to point it out. But here's a good example of where you can see something. If there's something there that you missed, further on using these techniques that I show you, and these procedures that I show you, you will be able to pick up what you missed. We have an 8, a bottom, a middle. It has to be on the top. It could be there or there, but this 8 means it can't be there. It has to be there. Did you see that opportunity earlier when I put the 8 up there? Yes, I did the 3s when I forgot the 8s. Okay, let's. It's good. This is very good for the memory. You've got to remember the procedures and remember all the little techniques to use. Fine. And now in this block, because we've put that 8 in, we're left with a 1 and a 9. Let's put them in. 1 and a 9 and a 1 and a 9 matching pair. Okay, boy, we're making some progress here. We did the 8s, and now we've got the 9s. We'll have to leave it at that, I think. Now let's go to this set of blocks. 1s. I don't know about you, but I have just noticed that using the cross technique, we can actually get, some people call this dicing, whichever system you want to, whatever you want to call it, just know the system of the technique. Here is a 1. You go across there, that eliminates any 1 here. This 1 eliminates that 1 and that 1 and that 1. So that's the only place a 1 can go. So we'll put that 1 in and see what ramifications we can get. Well, I can tell you right now, looking up, 1, 1, 1. This now becomes a 1. I'm looking at the puzzle very on an angle here, so I hope I see it all. And therefore, because we knew that only 5 could go only in 2 spots, this now becomes a 5. Good. Now, any ramifications of that 5? Well, we've got all the 5s up here now. Down here, there's several places, so we'll leave it for the time being. We did the 1s, all because of the 1s. 2s. There's no 2s along here. Oh, there's a possibility of, I didn't go across this way. 1 here, we could have a 1 there, or we could have a 1 there. 2s, there are no 2s, leave them. 3s, the 3s are already done. 4s, well, here's an interesting, we got a top and a bottom, so the 4 can go either there or there. Let's look up, any 4s? No. But I see something, And here's a situation where you may not have seen it, but later on it will be discovered. So sometimes, yes, you do miss something, but later on you'll discover it. I'll point it out when I get to it because I can see it coming ahead. 4s, 5s, there's no 5s along the bottom, wow. 6s, well, a 6 could go, because of that 6, a 6 could go, all over the place, there and there and there and there. I'll have to leave that, I think. It'll come later, I can tell you that, because I can see what's going to happen down the road. 6, 7s, no 7s. 8s, well, look at this. 8s, we have a middle, we have a top, so therefore it has to be in the bottom here. There's an 8 already here, so this becomes an 8. Now you probably wondered why I paused a little while ago. I was looking at 8s, but now I see what happened. That's good. 9s, any 9s along here? No, they're not. So we have to now do the vertical blocks. 1s, not much luck there. 2s. 2s could be, we could either have a 2 here or a 2 down in here. 3s, well, we've done them already earlier. 4s. Now here's a discovery. Because we have a line here completely filled, this is a vertical line, in this block, if we had a 4, if this became a 4, we would go left, center, right. But we can't. That's filled up. So that means that this 4 will not work. We can erase it. And therefore this one that's only left, the one that's left, becomes your 4. And that's the thing that I noticed before, when we were doing the crosses, blocks across here. But we found it now. Now what's the ramification of that 4? We have a right, we have a center, and over here we'll have a 4 either there or there. Very good. 5s. We have 2 5s, a right and a left. It has to be there or there. Let's put them in. Okay. 6s. 6s. Whew. Not a lot of luck there because there's all kinds of places it can go. 7s. Now, this is something that is really neat to know. It's another technique. When you look at this 7, there's only the one 7, but if I look up instead of down, but I look up, I notice that a 7 cannot go there because of that. It's in that same column. The 7 has to go there or there because of that 7. So let's put those in, and that's going to help us because now we know the 7s in this block are going to be on your left. That's in the center. The 7 has to go down there or there. But it cannot go there because there's a 7 there, so it goes down in here. So because of that little technique, we've got a new number. Now let's look up. We've got the 7s up in there, but let's look across this way as a result. We've got that 7. Bottom, top has to be in the middle. It can't be there because of that 7. Therefore, this becomes the 7. And all because we noticed this phenomenon here, this little technique, we got 2 more 7s. 8s, well the 8s are already done. 9s, well they could go there and there and there, and they could do in several spots. I think we'll just leave that. Now let's go to the middle set of vertical blocks. 1s. Too many cells empty. 2s. Gosh, I don't see any 2s. 3s. They're all there. 4s. Well, here's an interesting situation. Here's a 4, which eliminates of being a 4 in any of these here. But it has to be there or there. There's no 4s along here, so we can put in a 2 4 here and a 4 there. If there's going to be a right, and if these are in the center, over here we have to have a 4 and there's one space left for it, so we can put it in, which means we can cancel this 4. Therefore, this becomes the real 4. Now let's see if that has any ramifications. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, we've got all those 4s in those blocks already. That was helpful. Moving right along, we did the 4s. What about the 5s? We have 2 5s. We have a left and we have a right. A 5 has to go there. There's nowhere else for it to go, which is going to be handy. 5. Very good. Now, let's go to the 6s. Well, we have 6s. Could be there, 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 there. All kinds of places. Oh, I just noticed something. Talking about 6s, I was doing a cross here. Down here, you can't have a 6. Cross there, you can't do a 6. Therefore, that is eliminated. This one is eliminated. This becomes a 6. And therefore, this becomes a 9. If that becomes a 9, what does this become? A 2. 1, 2, yes. A 2. Now, what are the ramifications of all that one? Well, first of all, we finished this whole block, which I missed before, but we caught it again. Secondly, that eliminates this 2. And this 2, therefore, becomes a real 2, because we worked out that 2 could only go in those 2 spots. So this is a 2. If that is a 2, we have a middle and a bottom and a top. We can go over there and do that 2. If that is a 2, a right, a center, a 2 has to go there. If that is a 2, are there any other ramifications? Well, I can see all kinds of things as a result of that procedure. Let's see what happens. Because of this 2, we've only got 1 left in there, and let's see what number it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6, which is great because that cancels out this 6. Therefore, this becomes the 6. And we can check it out by going center, left, right. Well, that was helpful. I'm looking at other things that have come up as a result of that little procedure that we did with the 2. Well, this block here has only got 2 left in it. It is a, let me see, it's a 5 and a 9. A 5 and a 9. Well, there's a 5 already there, so this becomes a 9. You see, I took a shortcut there. Hope you could see what I was doing. And this, therefore, becomes the 5. Let's look at the ramifications of that one. Here's the 9, there's the 9, so we know we have to have a 9 over here or here. But this 5 cancels out that 5, so we can make this a real 5. And that works, right, center, left. And now we're left with only 2 numbers in here, and what numbers are missing? Let's have a look. We're missing a 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 and a 9. So let's put the 4 and a 9 in. 4 and a 9. What are the ramifications there? Well, we'll have to see. 4 and a 9. Can't see anything right now. Let's push on. Here, we were doing the verticals in here, and we've now gone through all the vertical blocks here. We got up to 5, 6, 6. Oh, we could do a 6. 6, 6. This becomes a 6. And because that becomes a 6, we can work out what this is. Let's have a look. It's a 1. 1, 2. Yes, it's a 1. What does that do? That makes this is unbelievable, the ramifications of all this. This becomes a 9, and this becomes a 1. Oh, that was neat. If that's a 1, 1, 1, this becomes a 1. Now, because we had this 5 down here, we looked up this way. Now we're going to look this way. We should make this into a 5, because we have a bottom, a middle, it has to be on the top, which cancels out this 5 down in here. Wow. And we've only got 1 left in this block, and I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1. It's a 6, I believe. Yes, it's a 6. If that's a 6, we have a center, we have a right. One of these is the 6, and it has to be this one here because we have a 6, 6, 6. Therefore, if that's a 6, this becomes the 7 because it's the only one left. So we can eliminate this 7. What does that mean, that 7? That means that this becomes a 7. And now we finished up another row. Way to go. And in this particular, oh look, there's so much is happening here. In this particular row up here, we've got only 2 left. And you could probably work out, I think it's one of them is going to be a 1 because we've got a middle and a bottom. One of them has to be a 1. And the other one, what do we see now? 1, 2, one of them has to be a 2. There's a 2 down here, so we have a 1, 2 up in here. Let's see this, see what happens. Now let's look at something else here. We have, oh, because of this 9, this becomes a 4. And this becomes, my erasers, my pen's starting to run out. I hope it gets through to the end of the puzzle. That becomes a 9. If that becomes a 4, what does this become? Let's have it, check it out and see what happens. It's a 1. Yeah, it's a 1 on this row, so we make that into a 1. And that fits because we can double check it by going top, bottom, middle. If that is a 1, what are the ramifications of this? This becomes a 2, and that becomes a 1. So that becomes a 2. Ooh, got it. And that becomes a 1. If that is a 2, then this becomes a 4, because there's a 4 already down in here. So if this becomes a 4, check it, right, center, left. Here we have a 2, we have a left, right, center, so this has to be the 2. And I think we're almost there. There's only 1 left down in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 9, and we could have checked that by going up and down here. We could have checked it by going that way. Could be checked it within the block. But we have finished a more complicated puzzle. I hope you got a few little pointers out of this session. Bye for now.